Am I wearing clothes yet?
No.
Wait, shit, I'm wearing somebody else's clothes. Oh, fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Who is this person? It's like a Mexican clothes, though. That's nice.
There, we've gone live.
All right, I'm putting on pause. Hey, Evan, if you're naked, we need pitch. Well, actually, no, let me rephrase this.
You're naked. It's never a good way to start a sentence, by the way.
We can edit that out, can't we?
Too late.
Oh, yeah.
That ship sailed.
Oh,
yeah.
good grief.
No, I'm wearing clothes because I'm in a public location, sort of semi-public. Right. I don't know what's public.
Are we gonna get visuals on you? Are we gonna get visuals or not? Why is my screen frozen?
I don't know.
It could be a virus.
I hate computers.
Computers are
there we go. Now. Yeah, there we go. I got it.
Imagine how much easier our lives would be without computers.
Imagine how much it'd be easier if the shit actually worked. The fact we just spent 15 minutes trying to get a bloody password to work for the pair of you two so that we could actually do what we needed to do, that in itself speaks volumes about the ineffectiveness of the architectures that we have today.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. That was my fault, but being that I'm in management, I'm completely blaming Ryan.
Correct. That is how that works.
I do want to point out I'm probably the lowest of the three of you because the both of you are like executive goodness knows what and ownership of X, Y, and Z. I'm merely like just the geek, so therefore the shit's going to end up on my bloody plate.
Yeah, it's Chris's fault because he didn't know that Evan had reset the password without telling me first.
Well, I mean, dude, you haven't used the fucking account since middle of January.
Well, excuse the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, it's called like roles and responsibilities. It's like, hello.
Oh dear.
Well, you know.
Besides, how do you know it was me?
I mean, because I know you.
It's an assumed responsibility. Doesn't shit roll uphill until somebody else throws it downhill?
Because I don't own the MFA on it. So if it wasn't you, we got a problem.
There's MFA on that? Shut up. There's not MFA on that too, is there? Because I did not do anything with that.
I just want to point out, between us, we have what? Let's say close on 100 years worth of experience. Agreed?
Close.
Probably close on 100 years. And we can't figure this shit out.
No, man, because here's the deal, man. Because here's the deal, man. I've been designing this course, right, for the CVCISO, right, and oh my God, when you get to do this brain dump, and I would encourage anybody to do this, like just go through, like especially somebody with like lots of years experience, just go through this. Like I'm gonna take everything I know and put it into a course. And so you like do that shit, not everything, because people would arrest me and shit, but stuff. And I'm telling you, man, it's everything makes perfect sense. Like I can see how this, like, there you can see my hands, like this blend happens with security. Like if you really want to do this shit right, you turn off 95% of the shit you're using right now, and I don't know, you figure out your fucking asset management, and then from there you figure out your roles and responsibilities, then asset management, and then you figure out, data classification, probably, hopefully.
I mean, this goes back to what we're saying. We've band-aided the band-aid on top of the band-aid.
Oh, God, yes.
Every now and again, we peel the corner off and 6 other bits come off with it. And it's just like, good grief. And then we put the band-aid back over because we're like, we don't want to deal with this shit.
No, that's dude, that couldn't be more accurate. And it's like, and that was one of the posts I put out today, this morning was, it doesn't matter how much shit you buy, it doesn't matter how sexy your blinky light, AI driven, blockchainy fucking bullshit is. it does not compensate. It will never compensate for your shitty configuration, for your shitty fucking basics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by far and away. And it's ironically, I've been having interviews. Not ironically, I've been having interviews this last like week and a half with folks, and it's amazing how often we get to that conversation. Like, well, what would you do in this scenario? I'm like, well, A, B, C, and D, and you can tell in some cases they're expecting me to go wandering off into this land of I'm going to go look at this tool. I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to recite this. And I'm like, no. I said, we had a really good conversation with somebody. And I'm like, I'm not going running into that building until I understand what the hell, what I'm about to face. Why would I do that? Why would I go charging up that hill if I don't know what I'm about to face?
Fuck, and I've been starting every single lesson. So tonight was lesson 11. We have fucking 19 lessons left to go. I hope I survive. But every single lesson I start out with a truth that's relevant to the lesson, right? So the lesson tonight was configuration management and access management. I never really got to access management because I fucking got so deep into configuration management. But every time there's like a truth, right? So the truths are, I can't secure what I don't know I have.
Right.
I can't secure the things I can't control. And so, and they build off of each other. So if you start with the first truth, like I can't secure what I don't know I have. Every single fucking security person in the planet, what do I have?
Yeah.
You don't know? Well, fucking start there. I don't, and people think we just have so much pride in our industry too, where we think, well, I can think of a way around this. I can think of some fucking way to fix people with technology. No, trust me, 30 fucking years, I've racked my fucking brain around this 1 billion fucking times, lost I don't know how many hours of sleep around this. No, you cannot do it, period.
But and here's where we can carry on this tangent, but it also feeds into the vendor conversation or marketing conversation for this evening, which is the challenge we have is those of us that have got the gray hair and those folks that are actually a little more enlightened realize that we know what has to be done. But when you
gray,
they are so gray. Yeah,
you put the shitty config on the blockchain and it solves everything. Come on, guys.
God's help. And when the blockchain fails, because we know it's all absolutely immutable and everything's perfect, we'll go quantum.
Immutable. What does that mean? I don't understand.
I can't hear you. It's immutable.
but it's blinky and I like it. Can I have it?
Oh my gosh, I did a blinky. I think it was Nickerson put out a post, about basically stop saying protect or whatever it was. It was actually a pretty good post. And somebody said about blinky lights, but I've got blinky lights, they'll fix it. And I kind of had a bit of fun with it because I'm like, well, actually, sir, you have 2019's blinky lights. Those are orange blinky lights. So they're actually there. 2020 blinky lights. And I went on to, and 2022 are actually blue blinky lights. I got this amazing picture back and it was apparently, and he's like, and criminals use, and it was a pair of like blue ray blocking lights. And I'm like, beautiful. Couldn't have put it better. Just a perfect retort to it. Because it's
what you just said reminded me of the post that you posted this week about the rush to judgment and lack of transparency.
Yeah.
And I had written a response to that. And the response was essentially, I have almost stopped. If you look at my timeline on LinkedIn, you'll see that I haven't posted anything on LinkedIn for a long time. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I haven't posted anything on LinkedIn for a long time isn't because I don't have anything to say, because I do. It's there's this added weight with the things that I say represent the people that I represent. So I want to fucking rip. Seriously, I see some of the shit that goes on LinkedIn and I'm like, it makes no fucking logical sense. And you just want to call this shit out. Mm-hmm. But then, thankfully for the people that work, for FR Secure and Secure Studio, I don't. because they shouldn't have to pay the price for the things I want to say, kind of thing. But I totally got, man. When I read your post this week, I had it all written out like a post. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, fuck. I didn't put it.
No, it's a tough one. That post took me a week or so to put together.
And still got trolled.
I'm actually going to put a troll hunting post out tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to name names with that one, but I'm putting a troll. That one was a little nasty. I got a couple of troll light, but to their credit, a couple of folks hit me up behind the scenes who had made comments, and we actually had a fantastic conversation. So I will absolutely give credit to the fact that we could have a good discussion and a productive discussion. You know, I don't have to agree with somebody, but I at least want to say, hey, look, we got to talk about this.
And that's the thing that keeps me. I mean, seriously, man, when you feel the weight of like the people that, you know, because I don't mind paying the price. You don't mind paying the price. I mean, fuck, kill me tomorrow. I'll be fine. I don't give a, you know, that's not the point. Right. Ryan, you're the same way. It's the people that didn't agree to pay the price. You know, I mean, I don't want to put something out there because they'll look me up and say, "Oh, he's just the CEO of FR Secure." Well,
yeah,
did you see what your CEO said and all this other bullshit?
Yeah, you unfortunately, in fact, both of you, to be honest, I'm at the moment, I have a little bit more leeway. I don't know how long that's going to last. Again, another good conversation with a large internet search engine company today. And the conversation was, look, you know, do you know what you're getting into? And they're like, yeah. They're like, actually, for 99% of it, we're actually okay with it. I'm like, that feels like a different change in perspective to what I'm used to. And they're like, yeah, we're trying to give them credit. They're trying to move. Now, we'll have some fun with that one should anything come of it. But it's risky. I mean, I took a while on that post to try to figure out how I could phrase it in a way that did not open me up to a ton of just shit being thrown at me. Because, you know, I know both sets of the parties involved in this, and I have some, you know, I've gotten information. I have yet to corroborate it of the individuals that made that started it off, and it upsets me. It concerns me on a heap of different reasons. Right. But my biggest concern.
Well, Ryan. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. The biggest concern is transparency. You know, if one of us is to be an accused and one of us is an accuser, I would hope that both, literally, you know, the both get their day in court, shall we say, before a judgment is driven.
Wait, I didn't understand the meaning of the word transparency as much as, maybe I didn't get that right. I thought it meant naked.
No, I mean, you can be naked if you want. You seem to have a naked face.
But that makes me transparent, though, right?
It makes you happier to run through the streets of the village naked. We will make sure that we have bail. Well, it's not bail money. It's just come down and get you out of prison with a bunch of fivers. Let's face it.
But it's transparent.
Yeah, absolutely. It's well, no, you shouldn't be transparent. Maybe translucent, but you shouldn't be totally transparent.
I've met some of them people. They're called gingers.
Hey, I'm bright white. I am absolutely bright white. And I mean, there's bits of me which are lightly tanned, and then of whatever the hell this cancerous crap is on my arms. But aside from that, the rest of me is like bright, shiny white. I literally glow in the dark.
No, dude, I agreed with what you wrote there, 100%. You know, we do need to be more transparent, and it sucks that we live in a world today where everybody is so quick to judge without taking the time to actually get to know people. Because when you actually take the time to get to know somebody, then what you end up establishing is like this trust, this respect for somebody, right? And what we lack, and it's not just in the world, it's in our industry too. We lack this respect for each other, this base respect. Because I can have those conversations with somebody that are a different political, you know, persuasion, a different religious persuasion, some of the most touchiest subjects ever. But if I can't establish some respect with you. And that's one of the downfalls, and I'm kind of taking us off on a tangent, but that's one of the downfalls of social media is you can't fucking get to know me no matter, certainly not in 140 characters. Thank you very much, Twitter, you motherfucker. And certainly, probably not in LinkedIn, because the people that are trolling you don't know you.
Right. And
if they did know you,
that became a little evident today.
I know, but what a waste of fucking time this is for all of us.
Yeah.
When if you actually
I just want to know if I'm in the married
to know the man,
I think you might be.
If you actually took the time to know the man, Chris, you would know what this guy stands for. You would know that he's a man of his word. You would know, and you wouldn't have anything to fucking troll. So trolls, I almost want to.
Well, I'm doing a post. I'm doing a feed the troll post, because actually, Aaron was the one that went to my defense, and I'd asked him not to, but he still did. He's like, I won't see a friend. I won't see somebody take you to task over that, and I'm like, don't do it. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls.
Aaron who?
Aaron B. Birnbaum. He's amazing. Absolutely ton of love for him. He's out on the East Coast, like a totally awesome guy. Again, like us, just a little bit of oddities going on with all sorts of different things, but just one of those heart in absolutely the freaking right place. He's been out to the lake house. Just a totally good guy. Just another one. And he's like, hey, not cool. And I'm like, don't do it. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. The trolls got fed, but it wasn't him. The troll was going to go after me no matter what. And I said in the post, I was very, very clear in the post and the notes afterwards. I'm like, look, hey, and I think this is where it gets social media and in theory, life in general now is, I can't have a debate without somebody. I can do it sometimes, but I can't have a debate with somebody without going, well, which side are you on? Actually, this has got nothing to do with a side. This isn't, I'm not going to pick one. I'm not going to sit on the victim's side. I'm not going to sit on Chris's side. I'm going to ask the questions. Was it fair to all parties? We always want to be as respectful as we humanly can to the victims, but we also have to look at the accused and go, you got to get a fair crack of the whip. And by the way, it's got to be done in such a way that it isn't victim versus. It's got to be done in a way where an independent arbitration sits there and goes, hey, we're going to take this, but man, that part of it's got to be, we're fucking hackers. Are you really telling me to not look behind the curtain?
And the fact of the matter is, when did fucking hackers become fucking political? When did we fucking start playing this fucking game?
We anarchists.
When did this fucking game start? Because I totally missed it and I didn't fucking sign up for it. Here's the deal. Fucking facts, data, reality.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't take fucking sides. It is what it is. If you want to take a side based on this fucking and this is just plain simple fucking logic. And one of the things that drives me crazy about so many, because there's a lot of big name hackers too in our industry who are political. And it's like, where's your fucking logic? Because when you do this in your day job, it's all logic. Computers only do what you tell them to fucking do. Right? There's no, well, I wonder what the computer thinks about this. Fuck the computer. You do what it does, what you tell you to do. And so we've always had this mentality. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm this way or that way. What the fuck? Where are you?
And that was the whole idea with the post, was like, look, this is tearing because it's a side of an individual that if it exists, I didn't know existed to that extent. We all have grumpy days. We all sit there and go, for fuck's sakes, get your shit done. If it's that level of issue, then there's maybe some problems on both sides of the fence. But if it's more than that, that's a side I've never seen. And if that's the case, then I have to accept and absorb that and deal with it. And if it's not the case, it calls a whole lot of other things into question. And either way you go, it ain't pretty. And that was my thing. I'm like, hey, you have made a very public accusation, like a horrendously public accusation. I hope for all parties concerned, you have basically dotted your I's and crossed your T's. Because if you haven't, you've set victims' rights back 10 years, and you've lost the trust of basically an entire community.
And as a security person, though, isn't that how we fucking operate? Isn't that how we've been trained to operate? You go where the facts take you. One of the biggest things I tell new incident responders, because I've fucked myself on this, is I don't give a shit what your assumptions are. Where does the evidence take you? Where do the facts take you? I don't get, being able to separate, like, yeah, I've got emotions, I've got feelings and all that other shit. But when it comes, being able to discern shit like this, it drives me fucking crazy, because we've been trained for so many years to do this. Because I also know, I know who you're talking about now, and I know of other, and I'm a guy who likes to just do my shit. I got plenty of shit to do. I don't need a fucking name for myself. I don't need any of that shit. I got plenty of stuff to do. I got, whatever. But you see big names in our industry, and it's kind of cool when not cool, it sucks. When you see big names in our industry, and I'm not going to name them, who are doing the shit that they do and making the political statements that they're making that make no fucking logical sense whatsoever. And I want to call them out. But going back, I gotta think about who I represent, who I lead, because there's big names, man. That looks like the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, there are. I've seen. I mean, over this issue, I've seen a bunch of people stand up, and again, my concern is how many just watching, and this brings back memories for me for 2015, 2016. This is way worse in the just the viciousness. But 2015, 2016, how many people went off half-cocked? How many people went off one media report? How many people went off against, without coming back and saying, hey, did you fuck up? Or what is the truth? There were some amazing people that did, and those are friends to this day. But there are some people who in the media, and I still have those cutouts from what they said to me. I will never talk to them again. I never want to see them again. I never want to be part of them, because if you're stabbing somebody in the back that quickly and that effectively without giving them the time of day to stand up and actually tell you their perspective and maybe yourself be able to balance things out a bit more effectively, I have no time for you. Like, no time for you.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the climate we live in, because security, mimics life in so many different ways, right? I think, I see myself in my own daily life using so many of the skills I've learned in information security, just doing shit.
Yeah.
And, when you look at real life, we've become so polarized. We jump to conclusions so quickly. It's sad to see that disrespect for people, the dehumanization of people has infiltrated our industry the way it has. And I know we were supposed to be talking about marketing, but I think there's a segue here.
Yeah,
it's just really fucking sad, because, and then there's like this, you want to say something, you want to do something, but you know that you're just going to be, walking into a fucking blazing fire.
Yeah. And it's that way no matter what you do, which you say. I mean, I remember there's another individual that unfortunately has not suffered to this level, who I would wholeheartedly argue deserves it, because they've been proven to groom women. They've been proven to take advantage of women. Yet they are still welcome at that conference. They're still welcome at a couple of others. Now, there's a number of us that have stopped them from going. This individual owns companies in our industry. And that, to me, there's the hypocrisy in that one. If you're going to do it to one, you do it to all. For any that have done that, and because you've been told about it, then it's like, what's going on? Is it because maybe they sponsor you as opposed to Chris, who basically just takes space, and I think he actually pays as well for the stuff. But I don't know. If you're going to level the playing field, then level the fucking playing field, even if it means getting out the windrower to do it.
Well, and I talked about this when I was trying to figure out some of the COVID reactions, some of the
God, yeah.
the racial reactions over the last year, because I love logic. Logic is never lied to me. And so, all the spreadsheets, all this shit, trying to figure out why the fuck would we make these decisions we make? And then there's like this mob mentality, like gets behind it. Yeah, fuck yeah. Why? Meanwhile,
Right.
this person right here is like, holy shit, that they're doing twice as bad at whatever. And I think, there's so many, it comes down to the emotional reaction versus the logical thinking. That's the best I can come up with, because and the emotional things are like, you're attractive, you're sexy, your good feelings are invoked when I think of you, so it's like this, it's just illogical, and it's hard to figure that shit out. It's like so fucking analog, whereas logic is so much more discrete. It's almost so much like a computer. It's like on or off. You can figure that shit out. But on the other side, man, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And then when you confront somebody who's on this side, this illogical fucking thing that they're doing with logic, they do one of two things. And I've pretty much determined that it's two things. You either, because you can't defend your point because you have the logic to defend it. So when I approach you with logic, you do one of two things. You either change the subject, like let's talk about something else. Well, why do you want to talk about something else? I was talking about that. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Because you can't fucking defend it. That's why. And the second thing you do is you attack my character.
Yes.
So if I go at you with logic, you go like, "Well, you fucking bigot." What do you mean bigot? Do you know what bigot means? You're not even using that word right, dude.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
was
like,
you guys both. I sent the screenshots to both of you today. That's exactly where I went, because I try being nice, try being gentle on the post, and then I'm like, I gotta delete these, so I delete.
That's why I want to know if I'm in the merry band.
I think you
are.
I know.
I gotta
Aaron
go pee quick. You guys talk real quick. I've been talking too much. Anyway.
I came up with some marketing.
You did?
I did. I've got some cyber marketing that is truthful in nature. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
All right. So this is true cyber marketing.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's fantastic.
Simple, to the point, and effective.
No,
and honest.
Yes. Although here's the problem, and I think this is where maybe the dirty little secret is. You go back to that lock, that digital lock. I mean, 5, 7, maybe 10%. What's the antivirus and endpoint were what? Somewhere between 5 and 7 or 5 and 10% effective, and that was it.
Unknown signatures.
Oh, well, yeah, and actually heuristics and some. We'll give them a bit of credit.
Okay, just a smidge.
Yeah, they. Yeah, it's
95% is still human error.
Is it? No, we've had
95% human error. However, I argue 95% failure of humans is a direct result of shitty designs in the software.
Yeah, we've had some pretty
broken processes.
We've had some pretty high-profile failures of software based off of process. Let's face it. Recently,
there's some fun stuff going on right now. Oh
my gosh, I know. Well, I'm dealing with an entity that has. We got called out on Saturday, and my Saturdays are pretty sacred to me.
Mm-hmm.
We got called out on Saturday on this one. We ended up overnighting one of the Daves out to their location to start to get a better picture. And I mean, he got plugged in, and like 20 minutes later, Sweet sent me this screenshot of all the countries that this place is talking to. And I mean, I just about curled up laughing. I'm like, oh, you're fucking kidding me. I'm like, really? And then the questions start coming out. What assets? What did you know? What didn't you know? Why didn't you know? Where are the logs? And then all the awkward conversations have to happen. And yeah, it ain't pretty. It's and it sucks. I mean, big organization, all sorts of interesting toys and things to play with, you know, government, civilian, the whole lot. And it's frustrating because, you know, you look at them and you go, y'all should have known better. You know, you don't really even have an excuse at this point in time. You all should have known better.
Well, and what the problem is, we're not even addressing the most basics. So without getting into the theoreticals, because yes, I too can sit in the parking lot with a satellite dish and pick up the variances in radio frequency in your keyboard. Whoa. Okay. But
that shit's useful.
That's not the shit that's attacking people. That's not how they're getting in.
That shit's useful sometimes. Oh my gosh.
It's just not. It's not how it works.
No.
The fact is, they're fucking running the most basic toolkit that we've had forever under different flavors and different names, and the support's gotten better.
You don't have to run the toolkit. This is where I think it gets interesting. In most cases, y'all don't have to run the toolkit. You just got to do good open source intelligence gathering, because you'll find the people, you'll find what they're doing, you'll find the software releases they're on. So I'm going to run a toolkit because I know it's already out there. You don't have to run your own framework. You just borrow something that's out there, or you start finding IDs and passwords, or you find FTP servers or 3389, or it's still.
Well, it's the stupid shit. It's everything's wide open. It's still the admin. It's the password one. And that's the thing. Like, if we actually locked down the basics and we built the software more intuitive to put breaks in for the users, right? Like, hey, you clicked a link. You didn't actually mean to do that. Like, come on, Microsoft, step up the Outlook game.
All right, hang on.
You too can give me a pop-up.
I just went out to Showdown quickly. There is still 16,000, and this is just quick Showdown stuff. There is still 16,204 systems out there that they've identified that have 3389 open. I mean, really? Actually, there's part of me that's surprised it's not more. South Africa, unfortunately, has got a fair charge, but the United States doesn't get off much lighter. We're fourth on the list at 1,254. I mean, how many of you, and this is, you know, this is the basics of basics of basics. This isn't this stuff. This ain't hard.
Yes, but now devil's advocate.
Yeah.
It is hard when the business doesn't understand the why. And so the actually getting it done, because every one of us has been under the boot heel of making the right decision or making the decision that we are going to have to make because that's what the business wants. Make it work now. You're on mute there, Mr. Evan. But you are on camera.
Yeah.
So don't get naked. You want a better sex life, don't you?
I mean, I do. You missed the meme. I gotta show you the meme. You missed it.
I can logically show you how you can have a better sex life with better security.
There you go, Ev.
Okay. All right. I don't use either one of those.
This is truthful cyber advertising.
I don't use either one of those. Where do I fit?
Oh, I mean, okay. So yeah, okay. Let's go back on this one. Doing some stuff for an organization, running around the environments, finding Windows SQL Server 2000 and 2003 and 2008 and 2000. I am finished. And 2012.
I found a SQL 6.5
and 2019, all in the same subnet.
Yep, sounds about right.
Excellent.
I'm like, really?
No, it doesn't sound right, Ryan. Shut up.
Shut up and get naked.
I am. That's why I turned off the video.
Get us a video back. We want the cuddly Evan back.
As long as it's all relying on the SQL 2000 replication engine to exchange its data, then we're okay.
Don't even.
There you go with your big words again. Stop it. What's replication? Sounds like a gecko.
It's when data has babies.
It's when data has babies.
Oh,
That's
so
the
babies have.
replication.
So Data has sex.
Yes, with the columns. It uses the columns to insert into the table.
Windows XP.
Oh.
Hang on. Windows XP.
And then you give it a SQL injection and
would you keep
replicate it.
Somebody asked about Windows XP. 32,500 Windows XP machines, of which the United States of America land has over 8,000 of them. Well done, buddies. Oh, you're so cute. How many of them are honeypots? Who the hell knows? Tell you what, go run a query on them.
6.
It isn't going to be a huge number, isn't it? There's a lot of us that do research, but most of us have just given up with that stuff at this point. I'm like,
right.
They're all assholes.
You can't research everything, man. You know, you try to focus your time on the things that are going to be the most impactful, right? And I think that's what spent 90% of my time is, you know, shit in the background. That's where my gift is, right? I don't want to be up in the front. I was actually talking with Tony today. Tony texted me. I'm like, first of all, I texted him back. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are texting me, motherfucker? No, I didn't. I called him back. I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he's like, hey, we were talking about roles and stuff, and I'm like, Ryan's your pretty face. Ryan's your show pony. You put him out in front of people, that's where he shines, because that's your gift. But I don't know. Did I go down another fucking tangent again?
Apparently I'm a show.
You in tangents? No, you're in good shape. Keep going. It's kind of fun to listen.
I don't know. There's a pool out there. I should go swimming. I'm telling you, man, it's been one of those weeks where it's like, oh my God. Oh fuck, it's been crazy. And I'm one of those guys, I do a lot of crazy weeks. So when I say it's crazy, it's been fucking crazy. So I'm in like this mood right now on Thursday night. I'm like, I just want to be free. And so I'm talking all kinds of shit. I'm just like, fuck it all. This is awesome. I'm a very happy place right now.
Hang on. When did Heartbleed come out? Can somebody answer me without Googling?
I'm gonna guess 2000.
What was the question?
When did Heartbleed come out without Googling?
2011.
Heartbleed came out in 2001. No, that's fucked up.
2011.
I got that mixed up with.
Your 2001 is so far out and even funny. I'm not even sure if we had.
All right, now I'm Googling it because now I got to know.
2014.
Heartbleed.
All right. So I'm trying
to think. There's so many fucking Here's the problem, man. There's so many fucking exploits. I'm trying to think of which one was that one.
So I just stuck it up to you guys. You can post it out there. So I just did a quick search. Showdown. I love Showdown. I mean, the Showdown's just like it. I
got that mixed up with I Love You because I saw a heart in my brain. I was like,
yeah.
Oh,
well, hold that thought for a second. So Showdown you can break down by country. All right. And I'm just looking at the United States of America land.
Lord California, get your shit together.
Oh, no. I mean, Heartbleed in the United States, almost 51,000 systems still vulnerable to Heartbleed.
Well,
I mean, here's the thing. Let's bring this shit back. Let's bring this shit back to my favorite fucking subject: accountability.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Why am I wasting more time and energy and thoughts about this? I'm working on like people that actually want to take this shit seriously. So for people who don't want to, you're just going to have to let them fucking fall by the wayside. And at some point, we're just going to have to make. And so that goes back to the logic thing versus, feelings. Well, God, no, we can't let, the poor whatever company. No, because everybody else is fucking suffering for it. If you want the math, I'll show it to you.
Right.
We can't spend time anymore with the people that don't take this shit seriously. Let them fuck themselves. I didn't fuck them. They did it.
Well, hold that thought for a second. Texas wants to annex itself on like a regular basis, and California. So there's a whole map on here about industrial control systems. There's a wide arse open. California and Texas both have the highest number of industrial control. California, 4,000, Texas, 2,800. We can annex them ourselves. We can help them. We can aid and guide their future plans through the...
I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. I just clicked the button now.
But okay, so this thing goes back to marketing. Let's swing it kind of ish back to where.
Okay, all right. So here's what happens. Now we know, according to this, we've got what 30,000 give or take ICSs that are very, very, very vulnerable, according to this map you sent.
Yep.
Now, if I'm in marketing, I'm going to tell you that there are 10 times that amount that are vulnerable. Then I'm going to tell you how for very little effort, but a whole lot of money that I'll bring up later, I can guarantee you something that I can't.
Well, here's an idea.
Pitch of all of it right now. The shitty marketing is hacker proof. We stop. Oh my God, some of the fucking shit they come up with. We stop users, or you know what I'm talking about, right?
Hey, dude, I'm gonna send you guys. I'll have to find the slide because one of the second class into, maybe it was the first one. Shit, I don't remember. First lesson into the CVCISO course was this. Here are the red flags, right? Any word that says guaranteed, risk elimination, whatever. I had a whole list of them. No. Yeah, right? Cross them off your fucking list. Never do business with them again. Because you have to be able to discern, especially as a CVCISO, right? What does a CVCISO do? Two things. That's it. Two. You consult the business to make good risk decisions and you implement those risk decisions to the best of your ability. That's it. There's a whole bunch of shit that fills in with that. But if I'm going to be a good consultant to you, I better give you fucking truth. I better give you like, hey, we should buy this thing. Oh, really? Why? I should be able to justify why.
Yeah.
Right. And justifying with all this other bullshit is like so far outside of anything that makes any fucking sense.
And again, so not only can I advise you, but it's doing it in that integral, accountable way. I'm not going to come into you and say, hey, I can secure you. I'm not going to come into you and say, hey, look, I can help you. I can protect you. I got you. You know, I can't do that with any level of integrity.
Well, and from a logical perspective, I mean, when you say secure, you know, what I would say to a vendor, what do you mean? What does secure mean?
Yeah.
That's a subjective word. I don't understand what that means because I know security well enough to know there's no such thing as risk elimination. There's no such thing as infinite risk. So somewhere on this spectrum is secure. What is it? Define it. You know, and that's where I think most of, well, everybody, fucking, not everybody, but I think people that haven't been around for a while fail. What is secure? What is protect? What does that fucking mean?
Does that mean I reduce the chances somebody takes it as much as I can?
Take it up a level.
But does that mean? But does that mean that you're going to reduce risk? Because I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Or does that mean that you're going to eliminate risk? Because I'll tell you to fuck off.
And we don't answer, and we don't always ask those questions. Or if we do, we get some marketing spiel BS answer that's meant to basically, you know, confuse us into submission. Mm-hmm. You know, arguably blinky lights are secure.
No. So here's a marketing technique. I haven't made an untrue statement.
No.
Blinky lights in and of themselves, relatively secure.
Yes.
Pretty hard to hack.
No. Dude, I totally disagree because it is an untrue statement. There are two types of lies. There's lies of omission and lies of commission. Lie of commission, right. Check it off. You didn't lie to me outright. But what you did do is you lied to me through omission. You didn't tell me the whole truth. And so fuck you, marketing.
Ooh,
lies of commission, lies of omission.
Devil's advocate time. The blinky lights in an independent system are like you go into Radio Shack.
What's your definition of blinky?
Yeah,
okay, but what are you selling me? Are you just selling me an LED strip with blinky lights?
No,
Fine,
I'm selling
that's
you.
not what you're
I'm selling
selling
you a false sense of security in the form of a product.
No, fuck you.
Exactly
20.
what
We don't have
fucking
enough.
men say.
I don't have enough.
And here's the deal. And that's where you've actually increased my fucking risk, because now as executive management, I'm thinking, oh, we're covered from this because I've done God
Right.
knows how many fucking incident responses. And the two things I hear more often than not is, one, oh, I thought we were protected against that. Well, obviously you fucking weren't. And the second thing I always hear is, what the fuck was the second thing? Oh, where did that system come from? Where, that's what I hear. So
That's not ours.
Number one, you weren't protected from that because you bought a fucking blinky light, and either you didn't know how to fucking use it right, because it's potentially that blinky light could have protected you from this breach, potentially. So you just were not capable of using it. Well, therefore, we've got a disconnection between your capabilities and the tool. And the second, or the other thing, which is I think more common, is you were told something that just wasn't fucking true.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side of things, like I just didn't know. God, that's fucking negligent. That's so fucking negligent. You have no excuse. You have no, as an accountability guy, but basically what you're telling me is you had no idea what was your responsibility.
I am
as a business person.
I am going to say that because it's 2022, there are no microprocessors or microchips on the fucking market. So the only thing you do get is a blinky light. And it is a blue one because it is 2022. So fuck you. The blue blinky light I'm selling you is secure. The fact you put it into technology that is last year's, well, that's your own problem. I mean, I'm sorry, warranties. I mean, just that's totally a you thing at that point. I mean, I cannot be held responsible for your misuse of my blinky light by actually putting it into a damn system. And what the hell were you thinking of?
Right.
Oh, and you did get professional services. I mean, I didn't offer it to you for free or bundle it as part of a system. I might have handed you a bill for 100,000 to actually look at the blinky light, but I mean, you didn't take on my professional service. Oh, and you used it in a Cisco product. Oh, well, no, I mean, there's no way we cover that.
Yeah, well, that's because this is the people making the purchasing decisions.
Dude, yeah.
Because they can sell it to the board. No, the guy said, look, it's 100% guaranteed. Approve my budget.
Dude. You mentioned the board. Fuck me, man. There was that, I don't know if you saw it, but there was that one, I don't know who the hell these people are, because I don't give a shit about your name. But there was, they've got a whole bunch of followers, and they put out a poll. And the poll was, who's ultimately responsible for information security?
The intern.
And so your option, well, yeah, right. So your options were the board. I don't know, whatever the fuck the options were. And
it was, no, I remember. I know
I
exactly.
saw the poll. Yeah, it was the CISO.
We ranted on it. I remember the conversations. It was the CISO, the CTO, the board, or the CEO.
Yep.
If there's ever a time when I just wanted to fucking rip the shit out of the fucking post.
Yep.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Here we are. Okay, let's just say that. I'm not even going to say what the answer is. Let's just say that for 30 plus years into this industry, because I've been in this industry for 30 plus years, and we haven't figured that out yet. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know. And this is unfortunately,
oh my,
this comes back to, so here's the challenge. As an adversary, I am able to, no, hang on.
It's a playground.
Here's why, because I can effectively collaborate, I can effectively communicate, and I'm really good at fucking cooperating. Yet our own industry does its best to shoot each other in the feet on a regular basis. We don't even march into the same darn tune, let alone the same freaking step or And that's
Oh God.
marketing, but marketing does have sales/marketing has a huge hand in that. And it's frustrating because they carry the message.
Well, I'll give you another example of that, man, because I think ego plays a big role in this too. You kind of touched on it a little bit. Ego, right? Like my shit is so much better than your shit. It's like, I don't give two fucks. I really don't fucking care. And I'll give you an example of just the last 2-3 weeks. And it's a big name, CIS, right? I love CIS. I love Tony Sager. I think Tony Sager is the bomb. I really do. I'm just gonna CIS, Center for Internet Security, right? They put out some great benchmarks, great content. CIS RAM, whatever. CIS controls, awesome. I know CIS really well because Tony's a good friend. Well, they decided 3 weeks ago that they were going to create a new initiative because I'm on the working group. I don't participate in the working group. I just like to lurk. I'm a lurker. And they decided, well, they're going to create a new working group called Policy. I don't know. I can't remember the exact term, but I'm going to paraphrase. Policy creation. Right. So I'm seeing this conversation going on about how we create information security policies. And oh my God, I just wanted so bad to just type securitystudio.com/fucking resources, bitches.
Right.
It's not gated. Stop trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. It's been invented. Move on.
Well,
Fuck me.
Well, and now with Tony coming on board, guess what I'm going to be doing?
Different Tony.
Oh, different Tony, correct. Yes. With our Tony coming on board, that's going to free me up to start cranking out all kinds of fun. Like, oh, did you need one of those? Yeah, here you go.
When I do love Tony Sager, I really do. Tony Sager is former NSA, just an amazing human being. I have no issues, and I have no issues with CIS either. What I have an issue with is, hey, maybe we should research, are there things available already that we can draft as opposed to trying to create our own another thing? We don't need any more another things. We have the fundamentals. We have the basics. They're already fucking right there for you. Stop trying to reinvent the fucking wheel and let's focus on the wheel and help people. I'm so tired of it. I mean, fuck me. I got a next greatest thing to do, risk assessments. Oh, really? Do you? What is it? Well, it's fair. Well, tell me about fair. Well, fair is this, blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's a great risk assessment methodology. Why don't we figure out a way to translate this risk assessment methodology with fair? Well, we can't. Why? Because it's proprietary. Fuck your proprietary. Or CIS RAM, if you want to go there. CIS RAM is the risk assessment methodology. CIS themselves is a nonprofit. The risk assessment methodology wasn't developed by CIS. It was developed by Hayloft, a private for-profit organization. And so let's not collaborate on risk assessment methodologies. Let's instead fight over, well, is CIS RAM better than FAIR? Is the CIS RAM better than S2 score? Who the fuck cares? Just do fucking risk assessments, make risk decisions, and implement those things. I mean, it's so damn frustrating. And the same thing happens in marketing. Everybody's got to one-up themselves, right? Well, I've got AI. Oh, really? I've got AI with blockchain. Shit, that's badass.
Fuck you. I got quantum AI.
Fuck you, right? It's like, oh my God, where are we now? I don't know. Fuck it.
I'm all entangled.
False sense of security. Yeah, entangled. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Dude, you've always been entangled, man. I love the post or the text you sent earlier today about, is the human brain quantum computing? That was interesting.
Well, it's an interesting take on it. So
that's the thing I love about logic. If people would just understand truly, logic never fucking lies.
Okay, so here's the challenge.
Challenge me, my friend.
I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you because
bring your big dick.
We're getting.
Sorry.
There's your show pony.
Oh my gosh, that is an awesome show pony.
That's your show pony.
No, I got a better one for you. Hang on a sec. I'll challenge you. I'll challenge you while finding my show pony. I've got a sticker up there.
Tell me where logic lies.
All right, I'll tell you where logic lies. Logic lies in the fact that so many people don't understand how to ask enough questions to understand what is logic.
Amen. 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 But that still doesn't mean that logic doesn't lie.
No, it doesn't. But what it means is we don't have enough to understand how to get to logic. This is that conversation we had with you two earlier.
Thinking.
Yeah, well, yeah, unfortunately, critical thinking isn't that critical for most people.
I mean,
but Chris, you bring up a great point. If there are gaps in the logic, fill the gaps.
Yes. So this was the conversation. Sorry, go on.
Because the data is there, the information is there. Are you willing to go look for it, or are you just a lazy son of a bitch who just like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna buy the thing that I learned at the last fucking conference.
Okay. Let's explore this a bit further. Current situation between our friends in the USSR and one of their former
I would like to go on record
and say, one of their former colonies.
I would like to go on record and say, fuck Russia.
There's all right. I get it, but I don't get it because there's some. I've got some amazing good friends over there, and I think this is where the challenge comes in. There's some amazing people I know.
I didn't say fuck your friends. I said fuck Russia.
You know what? There's a few folks over there that could do with a kick in the vegetables. No two ways about it, including a few folks up the food chain. I'm with you on that one. But let's go back to logic. Let's go back to truth, and let's go back to knowledge. Currently, there is an amazing disinformation warfare going on and counterintelligence warfare going on between those two countries. And
absolutely,
not just those two.
I'm concentrating on those two. Let's just concentrate on those two for the minute.
Okay.
There is a huge, up to the point where falsifications of fisticuffs and weaponry and movements are rife. The problem is, how the hell do you get to the truth? How do we know? How do we know the database? How do we know what is truth? What?
Dude, we inherently know this. You and I and Ryan have been in enough incident responses to know I will go where the evidence takes me, and where it stops, I will note so, right? The rule number one in incident response, if I'm going too fast to document everything, I'm going too fast. So slow the fuck down and get to a point where, okay, the evidence has ceased. I can't find anything else. Okay, what are then the theories? What are the potentials? And so you may have 2, 3, 4 different potentials, and then follow those paths, right? But at the end of the day, what still reigns supreme is logic, right? There will be gaps in logic. So we don't say that logic isn't king because we don't have the connection between. We just say, well, there's lack of a connection between. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, our fucking Russian cocksuckers, they play their fucking game. So do the the Chinese and the Iranians and whatever. So do the Americans, by the way. I mean, my God, we're not innocent.
We're the best at it.
Oh my God, right? It's funny, we're watching the information warfare that's been going on between, the Russians saying their thing and the Americans being like, hey, let's just,
oh my God.
What have they been doing? They've been declassifying information left and right. Like,
yeah.
Oh God, this is declassified, in order to like combat what the Russians are saying. It's a shit show. That's why I'm in Mexico, by the way. Thank you.
I don't
I
blame
don't
you.
think
I
I
don't.
don't think Mexico's in the crosshairs yet. If they are, I'll go down to Brazil, and if they are there, I'll go to Costa Rica, and if they are there, I'll go to I don't know. Where the fuck.
I would go down. I mean, I would go down to Patagonia. For me, it would be Patagonia or the Galapagos. Nobody's going to bomb the Galapagos Islands for crying out loud. I mean, seriously, if there's one safe place, it probably is the Galapagos.
But that's the challenge, man. Is us as logical people trying to predict what illogical people will do. So we may say, well, the Galapagos, that's not going to be a target. But fuck, for logical people, illogical people, there's no logic in it. They may attack the Galapagos, and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't predict that. And that's when we try to defend, there's three pieces: defend, detect, protect. When we try to defend, we try to predict, because that's where the most risk is going to be, right? Risk is impact, and I'm sorry, it's impact and likelihood. We try to predict those things, but when we're dealing with illogical combatants, it's very difficult.
I just found Ryan's
best guess.
You missed Ryan's brony.
Oh, I did not miss it. I saw it. I ignored it. There's a difference.
Oh.
I saw it.
Okay, well, this is what you're up against with your impact and likelihood.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh boy, here we are.
Shot across the bow.
No, man, but as much as we can. But here's the thing: logic never lies, but it also, this is the second part of it. It also does not account for the illogical.
Ooh, I really want to. I want to challenge logic never lies. I do, but I don't know if I'm on.
No, because it can't. Because it's not. There's a lie requires something to be untrue. Logic will always solve for the truth.
Well, and
logic
if you
will
want
always. It's the outcome of logic is always going to be what it is.
And if you want to attack it, I mean, let's be. Chris, to your point about being transparent. If we want to attack logic, let's define together as a team of three what is logic.
Yeah, I think that to me, there we go. I think that would be more the way I would look at it. And I mean, that goes back to the post I put out. I'm like, okay, this goes back to like the transparency, the logic, the flow, the details. You've given me half truths. You've made an entire industry and community have to fill in the blanks. And let's face it, we're going to fill it in as many different ways as there are.
Oh, baby. Here's another truth. I got a truth. Empty spaces always get filled.
Oh, yeah. There we go. That is there we go. That's good grief. That needs to be out there somewhere.
It's true. Either empty spaces in anything, right? I mean, take like physical, an empty space in like a container. Well, it gets filled with something, right? Air, whatever. But take our communications. Empty spaces always get filled. And I preach this all the time in incident response. This is why it's so critically important for us as incident responders to be really clear and not leave those empty spaces when we can. Internally, because internally is a different paradigm than externally. And so, because what usually happens where we leave those empty spaces is they get filled and they get filled with assumptions. And assumptions are, fuck assumptions. They're wrong, usually. And then that leads to rumors, and God knows where we go from there.
So it's tough. Okay, so an assumption, I mean, you can have an assumption that is as near as damn it to what you believe. typically it's based off of a logical. It's based off of. I mean, shit. Good gods, the Higgs boson is an assumption.
What is Higgs boson?
It's the gravitational particle.
God particle.
There we go. Gravitational particle.
Because that's not my specialty. I'm good at sex, babies, family, and
all involves
security.
the Higgs boson, by the way.
Big time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Especially the babies.
Ass. I'm winning this game. Thank you.
Just spreading that Higgs boson everywhere.
I love Higgs's thing. Yeah. When I get home on Saturday, I'm gonna Higgs the fuck out of that shit.
You are. I mean, actually, you are. It is. It's no. Think of it as what we currently know as the smallest building block in our in our understanding.
The God particle. Is that what they say?
Yep.
Yeah, but it isn't, because here's the thing: there's stuff beneath it that we haven't figured out yet. So it all gets really interesting. But here's the thing: that is based on it's a theory. It's a probability theory.
Okay, well, that's different. That's different. A theory.
No.
A theory is different than a fact. A theory is something you cannot prove, but you cannot disprove. So the theory, and you can look this up. A theory is something
I know.
you
That's
seek,
mathematics. Yeah.
right? You seek to disprove. Whereas a fact, it's observational. It's there. It's in front of you. You cannot dispute it. So if you're going to say that logic will take me to, well, a theory, well, then what I would say is, let's try our best to disprove your theory.
Yes. There we go. That I would love to see, because I mean that was the branch of mathematics I studied, was theoretical mathematics. And so we would work something out, and then we would throw enough rocks at it.
Yeah.
People throw rocks at it that it either stood up to those rocks or it fell.
Yeah.
And to me, that's unfortunately where we don't do that.
No, we don't, man. And there's two things, towards, like, I don't think people realize that I like simple rules, man. Fuck. If there's one person I could give credit to for revolutionizing the way I view so much of life, it'd be Bruce Schneier. Like, love him or hate him, I don't care. I'm not going down the emotional path. I'm talking just logically. The dude is smarter than fuck. He's smart. Nobody deserves that much brain shit. I don't know how the fuck he got all that. My favorite book in the whole entire encryption, applied cryptography. So anybody who's listening, go get yourself a fucking copy of Applied Cryptography. Read that shit. But Bruce Schneier, said one thing: complexity is the worst enemy of security.
You realize
that is a theory.
Because I want to see where it goes. I'm listening. I'm sorry, but right.
No, I already clicked that shit. It leads to.
It will do it. Oh, where's it taking me?
It leads to my neighbor's bra. I don't understand it.
Hell's oh. Oh, you're awesome. I love you.
I thought you'd appreciate both of you guys. You know, that's a deep cut.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
But this is the one thing, honestly, Chris, that immediately attracted me to you was you can have these discussions, but there's mutual respect.
Yeah.
There's not this like, my God, we need more of that in this world. We need more of like, okay, you're a Democrat. Okay, tell me why.
Yes.
I want to understand. I'm not going to demonize you. I'm not going to attack your character. I want to know so I can relate to you, so I can fucking love you, man. And it's the same way the other way. It's like, you're for whatever. I mean, choose whatever like pointiest political fucking bullshit. Let's choose. I don't know. I'm pro-choice. Okay,
yeah.
Great. What does that mean? I don't even know what the fuck that means. As a conservative, I'm more conservative. So attack me if you will. What does that mean? What is explain it to me so I can understand, so I can respect you, love you, and not change your fucking mind. because God, that ain't gonna happen. I just want to understand it so I can relate to you, so I can, use that to, I think, a greater good. And the same thing happens in security, man. In security, it's like, we rush to conclusions. We think we know what the fuck we're talking about, but we don't. So be careful about stating something, on a marketing perspective. Be fucking really careful about stating something as fact versus stating something as opinion. Because your facts, I will attack all fucking day long. I will beat the fuck out of you on facts. And here's another thing you can take as just a professional. I've been in enough fucking board meetings to know that when I go to a board meeting with fact, something I can defend, it goes a hell of a lot better than when I go with opinion and I get my ass kicked. So it's up to you. It's your career. I don't,
The problem is news is now being reported that isn't news. It's paid advertising.
Fuck the news. Fact.
But that's where people traditionally have gotten their quote unquote facts from.
Right, brother. But if I can go to a board, say they read all this shit in the news, and I can go to the board and say, hey, here's the deal. And they go, oh, really? This is what I read in the news. I go, let me show you how that's wrong. I go into that board meeting or any meeting, even with a prospect. I go into that meeting with factual information. You cannot dispute facts. You can one of two things, right? You can change the subject. Well, let me bring you back to the subject. Let me talk to you about breaches or incidents, because that's what boards care about. Yeah, I've heard so many times, keep me out of the news. Let me tell you why that's not possible. I'd love to, if I could, man, believe me, if I had pixie dust and some kind of magic wand, I'd make it happen, but it ain't going to happen. But what they do is they, typically, if I don't come prepared to defend my position, I will either change the subject or I'll attack your character. So I always come into everything I can. And I think this is such a great security skill. Defend your fucking position. If you're going to give an opinion or you're going to give a recommendation, you better fucking stand up to it. The storm's coming. And if you can't, well, then maybe you shouldn't be in this industry or learn from it. But if you're going to I'm so fucking stuck in my fucking ways, you know what that makes you? A fucking bigot. Mm-hmm. Look up the definition. That's a bigot. A bigot is somebody who is so stuck in their position that they will not entertain opposing views. And go ahead, Google it, man. I've done it. That's why fuck me. It's so important for us to stand on something that's solid. And the same thing that happens when we deal with marketing. Stand on something that's solid. When the marketing folks are coming at you with this or that or anything else, use some discernment. Question it. Does that resonate with my facts? Does that resonate with my worldview? If it doesn't, resolve it. Don't just go with it.
I wish I could find something. I was actually just looking for it online a second ago, and I saw it earlier. It was an advert for an identity management solution, and it purported to be, and I quote, the world's most advanced identity management platform. And I'm trying to find who it was because there's 2 or 3 protagonists it could be.
Maybe it is. Prove it.
But that exactly who, quantify, metrics, demonstrate, show me, when, all of those other things to say, who told you were the most? Is it just is it somebody, is it chest beating? Is it quantifiable? What metrics are you using? How are you doing it? All of these other things. It's not Amplify, but it was somebody like that. I think I saw it on LinkedIn. But it was one of those things that, again, caught me. I'm like, you assholes. Because there will be, I was pissed. I was actually going to it might have been Beyond Trust again. I think those motherfuckers were fucking around with shit as well. They blamed hackers. They put a post out yesterday. Those
oh God,
assholes. it was like prevention from hackers, like motherfuckers. They didn't even respond to my message, but I'm pretty sure it was somebody like that. But it was somebody like that. It was because it was and again, it was one of those. I'm like, this goes back to the terms. You know, Ryan comes up and is has a level of integrity and says, "Hey, my stuff's not bad. It will help you reduce risk. It'll do cool stuff. It'll do all this stuff." Evan, you come up and you're like, "Hey, my stuff's great. It integrates. It does this. It does this. It does this. It's marvelous and does this stuff." I have to look and go, well, how do I steal both of your sets of customers? Because I've got to pay my VCs back. I've got to do 10x. Well, fuck, I've got the world's most advanced.
No, dude. And that's it. We
Yeah.
have to be, when you talk about marketing, we have to be very careful about the words we choose. And I posted something, I don't know how long it was, a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, because I'm really not doing much on LinkedIn anymore. But I posted along these same lines, using discernment in these things and really was, because I've heard this before too, I've talked to boards. Well, that's semantics. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? What does semantics mean? Well, it means whatever the fuck they tell me, which they usually don't know. And semantics make all the fucking difference in the world, because semantics is the meaning behind the words that you're using. And so you may choose, we're in such a fucking weird world now where we will just use a word, and then like bigot, for instance. My mother, God, I love her. I was talking to her about Jesus, believe it or not. And she said, well, you're just a bigot. And I'm like, hold up. Let's maybe I am. Let's review this word. What does bigot mean? I'm not sure you're using that word right. And she goes, well, it means, this. I'm like, well, let's, whatever. Well, we found out that I'm not a bigot because you're in my fucking house. If you're a bigot, I would have kicked you out of my house. It doesn't matter if you're my mother or not. I have this religious belief, and I'm a bigot, so get the fuck out of here. But so it's this intolerance with things, and from a marketing perspective, we buy into so much shit based on our own bias, based on our own, like, well, this is what I read on CNN or Fox News, and I intentionally, by the way, chose two, opposite ends of the spectrum. It doesn't matter. Use your fucking mind. Use your facts. Question. Oh, you say you're going to do this? Tell me how you're going to do that. Oh, you say that you're the best? Tell me how you're the best.
Yeah, you're the best, yeah.
Because I'm not saying you're not. I don't know. Show me. I'm the buyer.
Well, they're supposed to, by law. We've been over that too. By law, they're required, if they claim that, to be able to demonstrate it scientifically.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It's
Our
true.
laws are so fucking far behind. I know. We suck at laws. And so,
well, we only enforce the ones on poor people. What?
But no, but you bring up a great point, because that's another thing that we somehow fucking got off track with is, well, I'm just going to go with the government says. The government doesn't know what the fuck they're doing in any of this. And if you didn't know this, just by the way, the government doesn't give a shit. The government wants your vote. What's their motivation? Their motivation is not to secure your shit. Their motivation is to get you to vote for them. And how do I know that? Because I asked them straight out. Like, actually, I didn't ask them. They asked me. I should clarify. So I was asked by a U.S. senator, what do you think our number one job is? I'm like, well, and so I raised my hand because they came and visited our company. I was like, oh, I know this because I'm really smart and shit. He's like, what is it? And I go, well, it's to serve your constituents. He goes, wrong. I'm like, what? He goes, it's to get reelected. I was like, oh my God, that changed my world. So Jim Ramstad was the, he may not have been senator, he might have been a U.S. representative at the time. But anyway, it was like, it changed my whole worldview on a lot of these things because we rely on the government, we rely on compliance without realizing that really their motivation is not what's in our best interest. It's in what will convince you to click my checkbox to the ballot, the next election cycle. And so I can't rely on the government. That's what it essentially told me. And so what I needed to rely on then was logic. I mean, logic, like I said, it's never failed me. And I will entertain any attempt to, to diffuse it because it's not biased either. You know what I mean? The facts are the facts, man. It doesn't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you're liberal. I don't give a shit if you're conservative. It's the facts. If 1 + 1 = 2, it's 1 + 1 = 2. I don't give a fuck if your theory, proposes it's 1 + 1 = 6. Let me disprove your fucking theory. That's what theories are. So I think there's just a lack of, kind of education throughout this industry.
Well, there's just so back to, okay, so marketing. What does marketing try to do? They try to create interest and desire and demand.
Hopefully improve my sex life, because that's the only thing I fucking give a shit about.
Well, and this country has a history with snake oil salesmen. We have several large government entities now because of it, right? That controlled what? They controlled the marketing. They controlled the marketing. And then they came along and said, well, maybe we should look at the ingredients too. Right? So that's how you get your FDA. That's why every fucking ad you've ever seen for herbal this and that has an asterisk that says, this is not intended. The guy's up there, he's like, if you take pills, your penis will grow 44 inches. All your hair will come back and you'll be 2 feet taller. And then a little asterisk at the bottom says, none of that shit's true. It doesn't really work that way. And people still buy it. Our stuff's no different. The marketing is it's talking, I know that we want to think that even those of us in this industry are less fallible as humans to the marketing techniques, but we're not. We're not. I got BOGO on antibiotics. As soon as they said BOGO, I was like, fuck it, I'll take them all. Right?
It's good.
Like logically, my brain shouldn't have gone there. But my humanness got in the way. My analog human went, more is better. She said I can have more. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with all these antibiotics, but more is better. So that the problem we have is everybody's susceptible to that. And they're using those techniques and they're working. Very few people stop and say no. And the ones that do generally aren't in the seats of decision making. In this case, the intern is right. The intern was like, no, don't buy that. And it was the executive that was like, no, it's fine. I read 3 articles in my favorite magazines about it, all paid sponsored articles. And I talked to my friend and he read the same 3 articles, but he forgot to mention that when he told me how great he thought it was.
So Ryan,
so on.
Who stands in the gap? So you mentioned, I mean, and I get it, man. I agree with you completely. You buy into the marketing, it's biased and, all these things. And so on the one side, you've got the people, the consumers, right? The consumers who are like, yeah, man, I get it. I need that sexy thing. And then on the other side, you've got the marketers and I'm not anti-capitalist, but I'd say excessive capitalist. Who is supposed to stand in the gap? It's us, right?
Yeah.
Aren't we supposed to protect the one side from the other side, and
I mean,
be able
that's
to
the idea.
be able to be unbiased enough and logical enough, because we all claim that we're, not all, but many of us claim that we're experts, that we're, technological. Well, technology, I mean, fuck me. Technology is binary. The technology we deal with, the digital technology we deal with is binary. It's very logical. It's all logic, for crying out loud. And so if you claim to be an expert in information security, which we've sort of shifted into cyber security, which if you've looked up that definition is of or pertaining to computers and technology, go ahead, Google it. Because I'm not going to claim shit. I'm not going to claim shit as fact unless I'm prepared to defend it. And every single one of us in this industry should be able to do the same thing. I won't claim something. I won't go to bat for something unless I believe it, unless I can defend it. And I think for those of us who are in this industry, truly for the right reason, which is to protect people, it's all about people. Mm-hmm. Information security isn't about information or security as much as it is about people. If we're in this industry for the right reasons, put your biases aside and focus on logic.
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, man. I want to
pile up the bodies.
I'm not going to say something. No, I'm with that too, brother. Don't get me wrong.
People pay attention.
We're still gonna win, guys. We're still gonna win. We're gonna win. We're gonna attack the language part.
But to Chris's point, I don't say that out of logic. I say that because I'm fucking frustrated as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm with you on that.
I know, and that's kind of where I'm at.
I've given up in some places.
We've tried logic, and I think that's what. We've tried logic, but we maybe haven't tried logic with the right language. That's, I think, where we failed.
Dude, and that's the biggest fucking challenge, man. So for those of us who want and truly are devoted to solving problems, you don't solve problems like doctors solve problems where you treat symptoms. You solve problems by identifying the root cause of the problem and attacking the root cause. And so to Chris's point, man, the root cause of our problem, or at least a lot of problems, is our inability to speak the same language. People don't understand what the fuck we're talking about.
And so here's the other one I'll add to that. Too many in our industry drink the Kool-Aid without question.
Oh God!
I sent you guys that meme about Cisco trying to acquire Splunk, and we couldn't figure out if it was a fucking acquisition or a fucking renewal of licensing.
Yeah, and I think that's this goes back to that adversary discussion we had a little earlier, which is
okay. So you know what I call those? I call these people they're wolves in sheep's clothing. Call them what they are.
Yeah,
they're in our industry and they're roaming around acting like they're part of the herd, but what they really are is they're devouring us. And so I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. CrowdStrike. Fuck it. Choose any big name in our industry. And Ryan, I think maybe it was Chris, maybe it was you who sent that other post about, if we cure the problem, or every problem we cure, we kill a customer. That's their logic, and it's valid. So what it ends up being is you look at the logic of your marketing, the people we're fighting against, which, let's say the marketers who are preaching shit that ain't true. That's our adversary. And it's the same way we would go against any other adversary, whether it be on a field of battle or whatever. You have to understand who you're going against. And so we have the overt attackers, I call them, like the Russian criminal enterprise or Iranian or whoever the fuck, whatever. And then you've got within our own industry, we've got adversaries who are taking advantage of other people through their marketing practices. And then there's us. So the better we understand these adversaries, the better we can protect. And let's call it like we see it. These are wolves in sheep's clothing. They're devouring our herd. And the only way you can deal with them is to kill them. You don't like convert a wolf.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I mean, I hadn't.
I can domesticate.
No, you can't domesticate a wolf either. You gotta kill them.
You know what? We pile up enough bodies, the rest of them will be like, okay, I'm willing to listen. I got this covered. I'll pee outside.
I think it's a language thing. I do. I go back to it, man. For me, the root of this and why the language barrier is because of the fundamental disconnect between our digital reality and our analog being, which is why it's not natively understood. We're fucking risk machines. And we get this wrong?
We're not risk machines. We're compliant. Well, as humans, we're risk machines.
As a human being in your analog,
yes.
You're a risk machine.
Yes.
So Ryan, you potentially solve one side of the equation. So if we believe that risk is likelihood and impact, right, which it is, the likelihood of something bad happening and impact if it did.
But my interpretation is hazard and outrage.
Explain.
So as a human, when I'm evaluating a risk, it's not the impact actually that's the triggering factor. It's my outrage. It's how outraged I am about that impact that's the triggering factor in my behavioral approach to whether I find that risk to be palatable or not.
So we're talking about two different things. We're talking about the definition of risk, and we're talking about the motivation for replying to risk.
Correct. Right? So the definition is likelihood impact. That is the straight up black and white definition.
Black and white definition.
Now I'm going to bring my messy human into that equation, and my messy, gooey analog humanness, which is not black or white, interprets said impact and risk, likelihood and impact of the risk. I'm interpreting that now as hazard plus outrage.
Okay.
So the higher I evaluate the hazard, I could have high hazard with low outrage and not give a fuck. I could have low hazard with very high outrage and give a huge fuck, because it's the outrage factor that dictates whether or not I find the risk to be palatable. I can send you guys some studies I've been reading up on.
That makes sense, because that makes sense.
Okay, so
I think we've got to solve that.
We've got a subject. Sorry, go on.
No, so I just want to be clear. So the definition of security hasn't changed. What we're translating to is the motivation to get people to care and or react to that risk, right?
Correct.
Okay, and I totally agree with that. I think, and that's the, oh my God, that's the thing. It seems like for years we've been trying to tackle is how do we get people to give a shit?
I tell you how. Oh no, fuck you. I'm sorry. Fuck it. I'm done. I'll tell you how we do it.
I've never been fucked before, but I don't know. I'm open to the idea.
You know, it's Terry. I'll shave. I promise. I'll manscape.
All right, whatever. I will too. I mean, come on, let's be romantic about it.
Oh, here we go.
All right. I'll tell you how we fix it. What causes outrage?
Many things, but generally one's perception of the world and whatever it being inconsistent with that.
Nope. I tell you what, kill off an adult, kill off a kid.
Yes, dead babies do get people whipped up.
But
tell you what, I'll go.
That's not universal. That's not universal.
Correct.
Ooh, it's
no, it's not though.
It isn't, but I'd be interested in the percentage, because I'll tell you what, all the IoT crap in ICU, it's fair game.
I'll tell you what is universal. And there's been, a number of good psychology studies on this. What is universal is what's in it for me.
Yeah, but that takes too long.
Sometimes. But then they did the Maslow's, hierarchy.
Yeah, but it still takes too long. It takes too long.
If I can take away your food,
Well, okay, so all right, so okay, now this is where it gets bloody annoying because we demonstrated how to take, I think it was like 75 or 85% of corn, barley, wheat, and everything else. I mean, we demonstrated how to wipe an entire year's crop out, like globally.
but you know,
we didn't do it. We'd need to just do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what was missing. If you
But
did it,
then I'll get yelled at.
I know. It's not for us to play. But you know, these are things that I've been sort of theorizing is what if we did, you know, like it's almost like a doctor, you know, they like take your medicine. Like, I don't want to take my fucking medicine, you know, but it's like, what if we, and it'd have to be governed. I want to play by the rules, right? I don't want to, God, I don't want to break the law anymore because I'm tired of that shit. It's fucking just tiring. But can I figure out a way to work with the government to simulate and actually make it real? Like, let's say that we take, you know, to your point, let's disrupt or
I think disrupt it has to be. Emilio said it, which was a really interesting one, which is having no control. That's a really, because again, I think it depends. To me, there's an argument to say they're depending upon region, location, and a bunch of other things.
Right.
So,
because at this point, it's all been theoretical. We've oversold fear. We've to the marketing point.
Yeah.
We've oversold fear, not for the good of humanity, but we've oversold fear for the good of profit. And so, being that card has already been played, what's the next card I can play? Well, the next card I can play is let's make it hurt.
Well, and that's where it gets really interesting, because are you a martyr to the cause? Or are you villain? Or that's a really
here's an interesting take. All right, Evan, can you see your screen? Because you're gonna like this, I think.
I can. I see your beautiful face right now.
All right, so check this out. This is based on some psychological studies.
Well, and I gotta be honest with you. Just as a friend,
yeah,
it's gonna take me a minute, a week to reconcile outrage. That's a word that just doesn't fit with me.
I get it.
Because it's such an emotional word. It's not a.
It is, but here's what I want to focus on more. If you look at this where, okay, it's voluntary, right? So, hey, would you like some security awareness training? No. Oh, well, it's now coerced. You want to keep your job? You're going to take training, right? Natural versus industrial, tornadoes, thunderstorms. These things happen. That's out of my control. Act of God. You built it. It doesn't work. I don't like that, right? Familiar versus exotic. Well, if we think about our industry, boy, we got a lot of shit.
Does exotic mean? Wait, does exotic mean sex? No, that's erotic. Sorry.
Technically, if it involves a dancer,
there's some good exotic stuff going on out there.
Yeah. Okay. Not
so
memorable.
I can go find a dancer. I'm in Mexico, brother.
He's not memorable. He's memorable.
I'll be back.
Here's the problem, Ryan. He's been on his own for a week.
I know what I'm dealing with. So, what I'm trying to convey is that because if we're going to talk risk, we got to talk about the other side of the factor, which is how it is interpreted. There's the statement of the risk as it exists as a fact in its cleanly defined logical structure, and then there's the messy analog human who wants to interpret it based on a variety of factors. And these are the factors. Now, we have used this left column or the right column aggressively. That's part of where the fear comes from, right? Well, now
I don't know if we have, because where's, like, if you really want to make something memorable, fucking hurt them.
Agreed. Which, again, risky, right? That falls into that category of I'm interpreting it as a higher risk.
It's a high risk, yeah.
Right? Because if it's not memorable, if I don't dread
nothing's ever fucking hurt people. in this industry.
Evan,
We keep circling around like, what's...
Here's the problem. We're dealing with Ryan. Ryan likes people. You and I'm part.
I like people too, man. I love people. That's actually
I just
my
want to
entire
understand
motivation for this. That's my entire motivation, man. I love people. I hate people getting taken advantage of other people.
Yeah.
But at some point, it's like discipline, right? Ryan,
you know,
like
I mean,
game.
Ryan, it's Evan and I are starting to pile up the bodies. You are the sole voice of reason in protecting.
I understand, which is why I'm working with second language experts to try to develop learning methodologies, trying to find different ways to communicate this information, trying to better understand how the human operates, the sticky, gooey, icky, yicky that is the human.
But Ryan, to our same belief, right? God.
Correct.
He's a God of justice and he's a God of mercy.
Yes.
And so we try to show mercy as much as possible, but at some point you come to the realization that you have to pay for the decisions you make, man. And it sucks. I don't want to see you do it, but
we can't save. I'm not suggesting we save everybody. Okay, but we need it.
Bodies.
No, that's impossible. That's impossible. Okay. Look, we had to take the lead out of the paint. Okay.
But the one thing that seems to be missing in your chart is accountability.
Hold on. That's after. This is about decision process. How does one evaluate? This is accountability comes after decisions are made. What I'm interested in is,
click the link. You're fucked.
Is there a way we can communicate this information more effectively so that when we do finally get connected with somebody, because I've had a lot of individual one-on-one success. I wouldn't keep going up this hill if I didn't know it worked. On an individual level, I have affected many, many people's lives for the better because I took time to understand them.
There we go.
How does that
it? No. Therein lies the dilemma. Therein lies the dilemma. That's that. I don't know. I'm working on it. It'll probably be my life's work. Okay, but
Emilio and I were talking about it. It's that first degree of separation.
Yes,
that's what it comes down to. And the challenge. It can't just be like, LinkedIn, perfect example. Between the three of us, we've probably got 40, 50, 60,000 people that in the likelihood are first-ish degree. That doesn't count. It has to be that very tangible. Amelia said like family and parents. To me, it's a little more than that. It's who would I take a bullet for? Because there's probably more animals I take a bullet for than a lot of humans. But it is, to me, it's that tangible first degree of separation. But again,
gooey humans, we get weird. Come on, you get more than 10 of us in a group. My favorite study that I've read that actually
that's the big challenge. You're trying to figure out where analog and logic and
where are you
right now?
Yeah,
make a rap hot dog.
Oh, is he getting the hot dog? Yeah,
we're here.
No, can you hear me ping?
Yes.
Excellent.
Well, the shit show just turned into the piss show.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That's what's happened.
What happened to the hot dog? You were gonna get a bacon wrap hot dog.
Should I go there?
I wanted a bacon wrap. I wanted a visual of a bacon wrap hot dog. I'm vicariously living of this experience through the.
It's good, dude. I'm telling you, it's especially late at night.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Amelia is a cat person.
Right, let me share with you another fact. So as you age, the prostate doesn't work like it used to. And so would you just go and get a bacon sausage, a bacon sausage for crying out loud, and let keeps you from doing certain other things that you'd love to do in life. Like I'd love to be surfing, somewhere right now, but my prostate keeps me from doing that. So I pee.
Dude, you know they make medication for this, yes?
Whatever, Ryan. I don't want to hear your doctor shit.
Okay, because they got the BPH. You get the BPH meds. You don't get up in the middle of the night. And it has an added benefit of waking you up with a hard-on like you're 14 for the rest of your time on this planet.
I have no problems with hard-on.
No, that's a problem. No, I'm sorry. That shit ain't no. Good God, the amount of contortic fucking acrobatics you have to do so you don't end up peeing all up and down the bloody wall. No. Good.
Ryan,
That's what urinals are for.
Ryan, let me introduce you to another term. It's called hypocrisy. This is where Evan defies logic to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Well, you know.
He's been on his own.
But no, I'm dead serious. I've been digging into this hard. I do
Which
believe
then we
is
can
somewhat
tie into risk management because Evan has made said risk decision and will live with said consequences.
Yes. However, Evan is an informed individual capable of making a risk decision because he has adequate knowledge of the risk topic he is trying to make decisions about. And I'm going to argue the majority of other people are not in that position when it comes to technology. And that's our fault.
Good point.
We haven't done a good enough job of not being the geeks that we are. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, guys.
Well, okay. Well, hold up a second though. That's where you lose me, because I do totally agree with you. I do totally agree with the root of the problem. Where you went was the solution to the problem. You said we have failed. Have we failed, or have they failed? Because at some point, somebody else
needs the people, right? But we are the
somebody
ones
else needs to take responsibility. Because I am tired. I mean, honestly, dude. I'm a Christian. I love people. I mean, I get it, man, but I am tired of compensating for people's shitty decisions. At some point, you're like, fuck it, deal with your damn decision.
I agree, but I'm going to go back to this. I feel like the average person using tech right now is equivalent to a toddler with a pair of scissors. And we gave
so
them
whose problem is that?
The people that gave him the damn scissors.
No. Nobody put a gun to your head and said you must use said scissors.
Peer pressure.
Well, yeah, no, that's a lie. That's
peer
a lie.
Pressure, societal pressure,
and
the ability to do anything.
Don't use the laptop at work.
At some point, you have to stop the cycle. Where are you going to insert the stop? Are you going to insert the stop at the person? Are you going to insert the stop at the manufacturer? Or are you going to insert the stop at us? Because it's just a cycle.
Well,
and all you have to do is stop it somewhere.
All three need stops? What if I said we need a gated process?
That's not true. But logically, that's not true. Logically, only one needs to stop. Should all three play a role? It's a different thing.
Yes, what if it's a choking down though? What if it's not a full stop, but it's a gated reduction? Gate one reduces. So using logic, 3 gates of reduction.
And at every gate, there must be roles, responsibilities, and accountability.
Correct.
So let's say you're going to insert me. I'm a manufacturer of XYZ blinky lighty thing. And you're the consumer, and God knows who else is whatever. Where in this cycle will anybody be held accountable? That's the problem.
So I'm going to use this analogy. Maybe it's a bad one, but let's take a toaster. Now, as the maker of the toaster, I am obliged to at least try to ensure it doesn't burst into flames, on its own, without some kind of serious defect, right? It should generally make toast without burning the house down fairly regularly. That's an expectation. I need to meet that, and I do. Now I'm the power company, because remember, the toaster don't work without power. So now I'm the power company. Now I'm going to take reasonable measures to make sure that my power lines don't burn down the city, and that they actually work. And of course, stuff occasionally explodes. But as a rule of thumb, I'm going to try my best. Now, I'm the end user. They gave me a sticker that said, don't get in the bathtub with my toaster. If I still choose to get in the bathtub with my toaster, well, that's on me. My body should pile up. But we're not even meeting the minimum standard of giving a damn sticker, of trying our minimum best to either make the product easier to use without fucking up, or some increased degree of saying, look, it won't protect you. It can kind of do this if you do it right. But we don't even do that.
Well, so at some point, we need to wake up and realize, I'm not going to discount, well, I am going to discount, sorry, your analogy, because there's apples and oranges, right? When you talk about one thing relating to another, one of the things that you related to was a physical risk related to a logical risk. Now, there are some correlations, but there's not a direct correlation. And I think that therein lies part of the problem in us speaking their language. But at the end of the day, as a consumer, just a normal human being, whatever, not a security person, I can relate to what you just said. But what I can't do is translate what you just said to what the other thing is. And the reason why I can't is because with a toaster, I feel the fucking pain. That will fucking hurt.
Right.
What I can't translate to on the logical side is how that hurts.
Correct.
And the only way I'm ever going to feel that is for somebody to fucking suffer. And people do not fucking suffer. No, not outrage. Not outrage.
No, suffer.
Not outrage. You
It's
need to fucking hurt. Pain.
So let me throw a little bit into this. We're not too far away.
I was about to say.
We ain't too far away from that happening.
There's the pain coming.
Dude, our hand is going to be forced, and God, have we been trying.
There's some pain coming. Be glad you're in Mexico. Get a generator.
I don't need a generator in Mexico. I don't need a generator down here. We're not a target. Fuck you all.
No, but you're going to be collateral damage. Get a rack.
Not only that. Okay, so let's go back.
No, see, there's an assumption because Mexico is pretty fucking resilient. I'm pretty okay.
Yeah, and the U.S. is going to go, oh, your power grid still works? Thanks. We're commandeering that.
Coming down. Yeah.
No. Look it up.
Hey,
Chris, you know what I'm saying?
You had a leasehold. You had a leasehold on the land. We're coming back.
But here, no, you guys. Seriously, go confront me with facts, please. Because
all right. Okay.
There's not that connection. If the U.S. infrastructure goes dark tomorrow, the only thing that hurts for the Mexicans right now is economically.
Yeah. No. Totally. All right. So let me go to facts. Let me go to facts. You know the stuff I'm working on. We see what's going on in the healthcare industry. We see what's going on in the bio and the pharma industries. We are not too far away from that convergence giving us the ability to physically harm somebody.
Thank God.
That's fact. That's not here. That's not casting a crystal ball at. That's fact. So you want to harm somebody?
I called you baby. I just called you baby.
I'll deal with that. I'm good. I'm not sure I'm baby face.
I got show pony. You got baby. He's on a roll tonight.
You got me so aroused with what you're saying. I was like, yeah, baby. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, because man, dude, 30 years of my life and 30 years of your life, and God knows how many years of Ryan's life have been devoted to this.
Yeah.
My God, we pour our hearts, our souls, our lives into this. We sacrifice our relationships. We've sacrificed, our marriages, our wives, assuming that they're still with us.
Yeah.
Sacrifice their marriages, their lives, their everything to this shit. And it's like, my God, we know the solution, you guys. Yeah. We know it.
But until it can be, Emilio said it right. It can't be pain and suffering in that convergence area to somebody we don't know. We've already seen that. we've seen.
No, and that's the thing. Yeah, because I don't know. Don't matter how many people were in pain and suffering.
It has to be. It has to
matter.
Yeah, it's got to be the Mo goes
touch
in
your house.
Yeah, there we go. It's under your roof, and that's unfortunately, I think that is the only time that it's going to actually affect. But even that. So let me take a step back from that just for a second. We have just gone through 2 years and change of human effect, where humans close to us, around us, next to us suffered, and yet we still, I don't feel that we've come out of it any more enlightened, shall we say.
Well, let's look at this the way it is. It's us and not us versus, because we've had this adversarial approach for too long, and it's just so fucking ineffective. It's us and them. And I've always approached this as like us, meaning the security people who understand this language and we understand how this works. And then there's the them, which is the normal people. And people take offense to it. Fuck your feelings. You're normal. Security people are not normal. What we need to do is make us normal with you. We need to meld together so you understand what it is we're doing, what you understand what it is we're seeing, what we're doing, what we're feeling. And then there's obviously the adversaries. But I know enough about raising kids, and here's a great tip. If you want to know the best way to lead people the way you lead your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because you love your kids so deeply, and you feel for them, and like you'll do anything. But then there are times, man, I mean, we've been there where it's like, all right, you made a fucked up decision. That's going to hurt. Good luck. And I'll be here when you fall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll do everything I can to help you, educate you, get you to question things, etc., etc. And so that's going to still happen. Yeah. No,
and those are consequences, right? And so what we do, and those things parallel life, man. That's what I was saying early on, is like information security parallels life. It is life.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is a simple one. Until we
the answer is 3.
Okay, I can actually deal with that. Until that convergence point, can I come down and hang out with you and put my feet up? I can figure out a way of self-sustaining. And then when that convergence point happens, I will be the first one with hands on keyboards, and it's going to be fun. And then we're going to have a conversation.
Chris, and I'll be down there keeping the keyboard away from Chris, and I'll distract him and Evan. I'll fill their oxygen tanks, but I'll fuck with the needle a little bit.
I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck's going on, but Chris, I do know for a fact. Put this down in your fact book. You are always welcome to be with me anywhere.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it.
I look forward to the day. I mean, seriously, man, you have no idea how much I do look forward to the day when you and I get to spend time together here, enjoying what I truly believe is paradise, man. I mean, it's just amazing. The people here are incredible. The weather is incredible. The scenery is incredible. I mean, whatever, you name it, it's incredible. So, dude, I will pay for it. I will do whatever I can to make that happen.
You know that's not the case. It's just a matter of me making sure.
I don't give a shit if it is the case.
No.
I really do. Whatever hurdle you're going to throw at me, I will try my best to overcome it. I want to be with you here, not because I want to have sex with you, because that'd be really fucking weird. I don't persuade that way. I really am heterosexual. I love
bread's not buttered on that side up. I know. That's okay. I don't feel spurned. I don't feel spurned, believe me. That's okay.
Chris,
I'm not going to judge the other way either.
I know. I want to go. Oh, what are you show? You're going to show me pic. Oh my God.
That's why
When
you
if
want
you
to go.
and if you do, honestly, if you do swing the other way, not excluding you from this invitation. It's for everybody.
I told my mother, I remember telling my mother that if things didn't work out with the current situation, I'm done. I'm just going to chase Jesse. That's pretty much what I told my mother's met Jesse a number of times, and my mother's like,
Chase Jesse down here. If
no.
Jesse's the root of the issue, let me talk to Jason. Jesse.
The only way we get him down there is if we could bring the tractors as well, believe me. Which he, yeah. Long
I'll find a
conversation.
place for the fucking tractors. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
We'll figure it out.
well, so I think okay, so two things, man. I mean, from my perspective about the marketing. Number one, well, actually, there's a number of things with marketing. Number one, be what the fuck's the word? Be skeptical of anything, everything. It doesn't even matter if it's in our industry. Be skeptical. You know, if your neighbor told you like, "Hey, Trump is fucking whatever the fuck he is," or Clinton is whatever the fuck she is, or Biden is whatever the fuck he is, be skeptical. Question. And so what should that question lead to? Well, a fact-finding mission. Let's find facts. We just don't make as many decisions as we used to on facts. We make so many more decisions based on feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a Hillary Clinton person, or I'm a Trump person, so fuck you on everything else. Well, really? Think about it. Because and I'm bringing this up because I think the issue is deeper than just information security. It's who you are as a person. Because technology, information security is so integrated with every part of your being that you can't just segment and say, well, yeah, I'm a Trumpist or whatever the fuck I am for the sake of just being a Trumpist. And therefore, it's going to lead to this cascade of decisions I'm going to make. Right? So, you know, engage with people. Fuck the quick, decision making shit. I mean, take the chance to get to know people. Because I mean, I'm a weirdo. I get it. But I love people's alternative views on life. I love having discussions with Democrats. I'm a conservative. So throw me up on a stake, you know, whatever you want to do to me. That's your issue. I'll tell you what I do. I love conversations with conservatives because it gives me a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. I don't understand why people are pro-choice. I don't understand why people are for this or that. So the only way I'm going to understand is to engage, not to attack. I will never understand if I attack. And I've learned so much from doing that. But that means I'm going to have to establish or just put a stake in the ground that I'm going to respect.
Mm-hmm.
I respect people. And I mean, I respect fucking Democrats. I think most of them are loony, but I respect them. I love them. You know, that doesn't mean I'm a bigot. It doesn't mean I'm whatever the hell else you want to put, you know, label you want to put on me. It just means I don't understand. And maybe the more I do understand, the more I understand they're loony. It's all good. I'm not a weirdo like that. So where that plays into information security is The same fucking thing. Take some time. We all serve somebody. I'm not okay. I'm in an not unfortunate, fortunate and unusual position because I do run two companies. I am a CEO. So when you talk about understanding the business, well, it's easy for me. I mean, that's my perspective. It's like, well, fuck it. This is what I tell you it is. But when we serve, most of us serve somebody. We are here to serve. I serve an organization. So I need to understand what the organization's purpose is and why it exists. I need to enable that. I need to understand why they believe what it is they believe. Now, as a CISO or a BCISO or whatever, don't get don't think you can solve it by changing their minds because they may not believe what you believe. Keep it to facts. Here are the risks. And as a CISO and a VCISO, and my role in this game is I consult you on the risks. Here are the risks. These are the risks these are the risk decisions I recommend you take. At the end of the day, you make the risk decisions, which leads to the second part of my job, which is to implement those risk decisions to the best of my ability. I may not agree with any of them. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, I think what we're missing in the entire equation is accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So say risk, say company, my job is to consult you on making risk decisions. You make shitty risk decisions. Well, kind of went against my recommendations. It's on you. That's what's missing. It's not on them. There's always something to backfill and take it to a personal level. The one regulation which I still just pisses me off is Reg E, right? Regulation E is essentially you as a consumer lose your information or your money. You're only liable for up to $50. Well, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
I chose a shitty password. I didn't take good precautions.
Yeah.
And I have no accountability for it.
Yep.
So who pays?
Marketing
I
department.
pay.
I made the marketing department pay.
No, dude, we all fucking pay.
I know.
Do you really believe that banks are in business to lose money? No. So if they lose money because I choose shitty risk decisions, you pay, I pay, everybody pays. And so here's, I guess to wrap it all up into a nice pretty bundle, we all need to be accountable for whatever, and I don't care if it's information security risk decisions, life decisions, financial decisions, family decisions. We all need to be accountable for the decisions we make. I'm tired of bailing people out. Sorry, you will suffer, at least a percentage of you. And not my problem. I didn't make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. I'll be here. If you want to start making better decisions, I will help you. But your shitty decisions are not my problem anymore. And that's what we really need to implement in our industry. And I think they'll go a long way towards marketing. What are good risk decisions? Well, for number one, discern what's bullshit marketing versus real marketing. Because there is real marketing. Look at FR Secure's marketing if you want to know an example. Because they're held accountable. If you ever sell a customer something that they don't need, I will run you the fuck over with my truck. That's the accountability.
Right.
Try me. I will go to jail for that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in this position to appease people. I'm in this position to change a fucking industry. So, that's a long talk, but that's where I'll leave it. And I love you guys. Thank you.
That was appreciated. That was needed. I'm pretty damn sure I can't add to that. I simply can't add to that. You covered all the freaking points, and I am so freaking grateful for it. So thank you.
Well, I love you, Chris. You're a huge
yeah, I'm just me.
I think
I'm just
no, dude. No, I know. And I love that about you too, because there's two things about you. Well, there's many things about you, but one of the things is you're a humble person. Pride is the biggest fucking downfall of all this shit. And the fact that you say, well, it's just me, and you've said that to me numerous times, it reassures me that you are a humble man. And I love that about you.
Thank you.
But also you validate this mission. And so if we really want to make an effective change in this industry, because we can sit here all day and bitch and complain about this and that, whatever. Okay, well, fuck you, whatever. Who cares?
We're gonna do something. Actions speak louder
God,
than
yes,
words.
man. And we have to come together. And I so look forward to the day when the Gray Matter Society becomes a reality. It was a year and 1 week, so 53 weeks. Not that anybody's counting except for me, because I'm a fucking weirdo. 53 weeks ago, we talked about, and one of the questions, Chris, that you posed, which was like, man, I want to solve this fucking problem, was, well, we're not going to be able to make a change unless we come together. And so that came to, well, all right, what does that mean? So we created the Gray Matter Society, and it's not fully vetted yet, but it will be a vehicle where we can come together. And I don't give two shits about your bias. I don't give two shits about your political affiliations or whatever else.
It's that common cause. It's banding together for a common cause.
Fuck, I love you.
That's what it's about.
And let's stay focused. Here is, which sounds so crazy as a squirrel like me. Here is the problem.
Yeah.
Solve the fucking problem. I don't give a shit, and it will vet itself out if you're Democrat or Republican. God,
it doesn't matter, because I mean, if you bring enough of the right type and right-minded folks together, it doesn't matter. I mean, good grief,
exactly, man.
For long enough. I mean,
what's the problem?
I know, humans,
and that's where logic.
I'm telling you, I'm making my damn digital machine. I'm gonna make it. I mean, we need to have that conversation next time or the time after. We are going to talk about.
If this continues the way it's going, man, I might join you in that digital machine.
Ryan's going to be the only one of us who's like, God damn it, you.
No, he'll join us too. I'm a leader, and he follows, and he's such an awesome guy. We'll figure out a way to make this in his best interest.
I also manage up well.
No, Ryan, dude, let me talk about you. Dude, let me talk about you for a second, man. All right, this guy, for people who don't, and I'm going to take up all our time, I'm sorry. But for the people who don't know, Ryan, this week, he had an incredible week. I mean, he has been through the fire. I mean, if you think you know what the fire is, and this goes back to, accountability. Well, but it'll be painful. Okay, hold up a second. Let me tell you painful. Ryan has been through some serious pain, and he pays for this through his devotion to our industry. And I'm not going to go into details because, you know, a lot of it's personal, but you know, sorry, man, I'm going to cry. I'm going to break down, but this is a guy who's so devoted to saving and helping people that he'll sacrifice his life for that, right? And so you talk about payment, you talk about you know, giving. What we really need is for others on the other side of this equation to participate with this.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how hard we work. You don't know how many hours we put in. You don't know how much devotion we put into this. Chris, Ryan, me, because we fucking care. Because we fucking love you. And we don't want you to go through the pain. But here's the reality, the logic behind it. You will, if you don't take what we're saying to heart, man. I mean, it's going to hurt. It really is. And I don't want to see it happen. I don't know, but it will. And so shout out to you, Ryan. Thank you, brother, for being a warrior.
Yeah, I mean, reflected back to you for all the reasons that I hope everybody is aware of, for all the reasons.
Well, I want to choose wisely the people I'm willing to go to battle with.
As do we all, believe me. As do
right?
we. Yeah.
Right? I don't want to go to battle with somebody who's, you know, I look behind me, I'm like, hey, let's go up to the hill. And they're like, where the fuck did they go?
Yeah, exactly.
And so Ryan is, you know, truly, and I put that on Twitter this week. He's a warrior. And Chris, you're a warrior. And I've seen the shit you've gone through, brother, in the last, I don't know, at least the last 6 months with fighting, you know, leaving companies that aren't marketing well. Straight out lying.
We'll get there. At some point, we'll make right decisions.
Well, we do, though, man. I mean, that's the thing.
Know.
We stay true.
We do.
We stay true to what we believe and what our hearts tell us. We will fucking fix this fucking industry. And if we don't, I will die trying. And I'm not afraid to die.
That's probably there we go. Or I'm just going to end up in an AS400 at some point down in the middle of New Zealand, and we'll figure it out from there.
Well, and that's the thing, man. Are you willing to sacrifice everything for this as a security person? Do you realize what your role really is in this?
Yeah, I mean, that's
what will you sacrifice for it?
You think about it. I mean, our job is we have one job and one job only, and that's to protect. Nothing else. That's it.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's it. One freaking job. Pick up a shield, pick up a spear.
And so how much money, Chris, let me ask you this. How much money could I pay you to compromise that?
Ow. Yeah. Well, let's face it. I mean, I've been, you know, it's tough because
let me put this a different way. I give you $2 million in cash right now, today. Would you say, all right, fine, I'm going to sell out?
No, I couldn't do it for that. I could not do it for that. No, I think here's my argument, and this is a really interesting one. I don't know if there is a price.
I have a price.
Amen, brother.
I have a price.
I fucking love you. That's
I have a price.
Why we're here.
I don't know if there is one.
No. It's real simple. I need all the money. Fix the industry, and then I double cross your ass. That's how that shit works.
Dude, this is going to be in the next episode.
Yeah, we got to do this one.
Let's not go too far, because I will tell you my answer. There is no money.
What?
None.
Because you've got to look at everything.
I will sell you right now, Chris. Right now, I will sell you every single fucking thing that I have, guaranteed. Call me out on it for fixing this industry. And let's just start with one thing. So what is, quote unquote, fixing this industry?
Yeah.
Let's say let's just say one thing, speaking the same language. I have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
It's already there.
Yeah.
It's yours.
No, I get it. I get it.
It's yours.
No, I get. Hey, I'm with you.
Because here's the deal. I've said the same fucking thing. It wasn't to a decision maker at CISA. CISA. Oh my God, fuck you. There's some good shit, some bad shit. So CISA, I said to them, what will it take for you to fucking understand this and deploy this to every single organization that you have influence upon? I will give it to you.
Give it to you.
I will sign it. I will $0 right now. Stop reinventing the fucking wheel. It's yours.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's again, humans, unfortunately. Humans.
Yeah.
The value thing is an interesting one. We need to explore that one because I mean, not the constraints, the hammer that's hanging over my head. So at the end of the day,
I want to make that happen.
No,
you don't think I don't think about that every
I'm
day.
working on it. I'm working on it too. Believe me.
No, but dude, it's not just you.
Yeah.
Leverage us.
No,
The more you can learn to leverage other people to enable those things to happen, the better. I want that to happen, man. I've been thinking about that ever since we had that. I don't know if you remember the drive we had in rural Nebraska, where the fuck I was. And you told me, I asked you straight out.
Yeah.
What is your objective, your goal? You told me straight out, as an honest man would, I want to pay off my debt to my ex. God, no matter how much I fucking I despise her.
Yep.
Okay, let's not go there. And I also want to pay off my friends who have been there, who have been loyal to me. I want to pay off their debts.
Yep.
But Chris, what that told me it was something deeper. It told me that you are a man who has a beautiful heart. And I want to buy that. I want to invest. I mean, like you talk about like normal, like investments from a business perspective, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to make more money if I buy that. I look for business perspectives from what's a mission I can buy into. I want to buy your mission. So I don't know. I'm off on another tangent, but I love you, man. You're in this business. For anybody who's still listening after, I don't know, what the fuck we are, 2.5 hours in.
Yeah, pretty much.
For anybody who's still listening, God, I will invest everything I have into saying that Chris.
Nah, I'm dead.
No, dude, is in this for the right reasons. Yeah, he'll make mistakes. Fuck it, we all do. Chris is the man, and so is Ryan.
Yeah, so, just me.
I talk too much. My bad.
No, you don't.
It's Thursday night.
Yeah, it's Thursday night. It's our time to kick
You've had
back.
a rough go this week too, man. You're busting hump, man. Come on, I was down there with you. I saw. I mean, shit. You and I were like two ships passing in the night.
I'm so blessed.
When are you heading back? What's Ryan? I know you said something. I don't remember what it was. When are you heading back? And are you going to get to dive before you head back?
So I had to turn down a dive, which was.
I know you said about today, yeah, but you're going to get a chance to get to dive. Rewind engage brain. Are you going to get a chance to dive before you head back, or
maybe?
Got it.
Friday night is my trip back.
Got it. Well, if nothing else, go stick the feet in the water. That'll keep the memory going.
Amen, brother. I look forward. I can't tell you how much I look forward to the day when I can dive with.
We'll go play.
I don't know what the right word is, but somebody
Yeah, we'll go play. All three of us will go down. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
What's
this
the
time
word
I
I
won't
was-
have a raging fucking ear infection.
No, but
No.
Ryan, what's the word I'm looking for when I say that I'm aspiring?
I mean, aspiring is a good word. I think, what you're trying to convey is that you respect Chris as almost as a mentor level in this topic.
I do.
And I
That's
think,
a good point.
yeah, I think it's, we when it comes to the business of scuba diving, there's nobody I would want to better be with, learn from. I have the highest degrees of confidence that Chris is among the elite scuba divers.
Ryan, dude, fuck, man. There's been so much wisdom like spewed in this episode. Because here's the deal, man. I aspire to be a diver like Chris, and it would be the world to me to dive with him.
Nah, it'd be fun. It'd be nice just to hang out, go down, and
No, but
just
Chris,
hang
it
out.
goes beyond. It goes beyond just like everything else. And I think there's a lesson here from the security perspective. It's like find the right mentor with the right motivation and follow them. Because I think all three of us, I would endorse, 1,000%. We're all in this. We say it differently. We all believe it. That information security is not about information or security. It's about people.
Humans.
It's all about those sticky humans for me.
Chris likes to kill people, but the only reason I like to kill people is because he right. But it's think of the whole sum, right? The greater perspective. It's like, well, if we kill off, I don't know, maybe 10,000, we'll save 100 million. It's a good risk decision.
But it sucks that we have to make it. It sucks that we have to make it. That's I think
Chris,
my
honestly,
frustration is.
brother, you have influenced me in a way where I feel it. I do feel it, man. I mean, risk. There's risk at at multiple scales, and there's risk at one scale where it's like, all right, say a business unit. Well, that's pretty myopic. It's easy. Organization. Well, shit. Now I've got a lot more to consider. As a humanity, oh fuck, maybe we should.
Right.
And so I'm not because I don't love people, not because I'm not a Christian, but because it might be the right thing to do.
Can we just wrap them? Can we just give them the burrito? Instead of killing them, can we just roll them up in those big blue safety mats and sit on them until they behave? Is that an option? Can we do that?
Dude, you know what motivates people? There's two things.
It's very uncomfortable to be rolled up in a blue safety mat and sat on. You're going to be hot. You're going to be uncomfortable as shit. You're going to wish you were dead, but you won't actually be dead.
I've never tried it.
Why do we keep trying to reinvent this? Pavlov already fucking theorized this.
But with the humans, you can't just ring the bell. You got to hit them in the side of the head with it.
Oy vey, isn't that the truth?
We've all been through fucking college, most of us.
Not it.
So smart.
Not it.
Not it. Didn't do it. Sorry.
I just filled out an application for somewhere. They wanted me to fill it out officially as like degree education. I'm like, where's the? And I couldn't go past that point because it was like, you have to fill this in. I finally found
dude, I've put School of Hard Knocks before.
Like that one.
Because I got a fucking PhD in that.
I finally found where to edit the form.
I defined your fucking education. I fucking defined your education. Why? Not because I give two shits. You can take it. I don't care about my fucking ego, but because your education sucks. right? You've heard of teach. Why do we define that? Well, because there was a problem. Teach is tangible experience. EA. So A is next. Tangible experience for apprenticeship, for cybersecurity, higher education. To give those students who are learning theory, how does this apply? So that when I come out of college, can I actually be effective and hireable? Or am I just another hacker? We don't need more hackers. I don't know if you knew that. We need more security professionals.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, every single fucking person that comes out of college is like, oh, I want to be a hacker. I want to,
it's everybody wants to be red. Everybody wants to be a red team. Everybody's like, well, I want to be a red team. I want to be a pen tester. I'm like, no, quit that shit. We know we can break everything. Believe me.
I mean, sending phishing emails just isn't sexy.
No.
Oh, dude, I'm so tired of that.
And that's way more effective than whatever shit you just cooked up in the lab.
Yeah. And it still goes, somebody hit me up.
Sexy, like, oh, geez, I broke into whatever. It's like, okay.
I don't care. At this point, great. I love the innovative thought and the spirit behind it. Don't get me wrong. I actually appreciate that. But do me a favor, give me half a dozen ways to fix it and integrate it and implement it and roll it out properly. Yeah.
We are such a great team, man. I look forward to us as a team becoming. I feel like we're so aligned. Absolutely. I feel like we're in this position where it's like, how do we capitalize and make the most impact? That's sort of what we talked about prior to this. This episode was, how do we do that?
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Oh, we got more episodes to unpack it, which is kind of what I enjoy. It is nice. This is very cathartic on a Thursday. Well, Friday morning for you guys now.
Well, I'll keep talking, man. Like, I got done with the training this week, so I'm like, I can go forever. So you'll have to stop me.
You good? I gotta go deal with a few things, unfortunately.
I love you, brother.
You too, brother.
Both you brothers. You guys are just amazing people. It's been such a blessing for me to have you in my life, because you validate what I think is, and going back to what we talked about, what I think versus what I factualize as being true, and attack it. I encourage every single user, our listener, or anybody, attack this. Is what we're saying untrue?
Mm-hmm.
If it is, beat us up on it.
Yeah, exactly. If not, well,
exactly, because we're only going to be better if we do this as a collaboration.
Yep.
If you're going to do this on yourself, well, good luck. Fuck you. We need a community. So thank you guys. This is the start of that. So Ryan, say something. I talk too much.
I will close with this. I will say, it starts with one person, right? So earlier we asked if I could take my approach at scale. So far, no. But what I can do is ask you guys to step up the game and get in the fight with us. It was a rough week. I lost a family member this week. I had travel disaster after fucking disaster.
Dude, not just any family member, your mother.
Yes, my mother.
That's hard.
Not easy, for sure, right? And yet I still met my commitments. I still tried to hit it in the face of disaster, because I give a shit.
True fucking warrior, man.
Right? So, here I am stuck in New York, which I was trying to go to Chicago.
Are you still in New York?
No, I'm home now, thank God. But You know, and I couldn't get to where I needed to be for an in-person event. And I called them up and said, hey, let's do this virtual, because I said I'd be there because it's too important for me to tell these people what's going on than it is to sit here and wallow in my own. So now they felt differently. They're like, no, you should probably deal with that, you know, and that was God saving me from whatever he was saving me from. Point is if one of you steps up, that's 30 people a day or 30 people a month you can help at one a day, 60 at two. Two of you do that. Now we're up to 120 and so on and so on. So that's my closer is, you know, if any of you listening to this, or those of you that follow us on social media or whatever, if you find anything inspirational about what we're doing, find a way to grab the torch. It's a big cave and it's dark as shit in here. And you've met the three of us. So we just kind of bounce around and, you know, tumble down the waterway. Jump on board. It's a conversation. It's one person. It's the person in the grocery store in front of you that you just watched do some dumbass shit. You've seen it. I saw it. We all saw it. That's your moment. Hey, did you know? And by the way, people love to hear about this stuff. We don't do a good job engaging them. And when we do, it's usually in some terrible work setting. But when you're out in public and people find out that you hack stuff, oh boy, the questions they have. So take advantage of it. Try to connect with people. I prefer you don't kill them, but I guess if you have to.
I'm gonna echo, but I'm also just gonna add one. I'm gonna, I guess, probably focus on one thing. Take the first step.
Do something.
Exactly. Listening's great, and I see it too much. I was watching something. The Formula One season's ramping up, and there's a couple of folks on there who are like, well, you know, Formula One needs to do something about diversity. No, you need to do. We need to do. So it doesn't matter what it is. Stop talking, start doing. That's it. That's all I got for you.
All right.
Evan, you good? Gonna be good? Evan, did we lose him to the bathroom again?
We might have.
You did. You absolutely 100% did. I was totally going to that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you out. Only because I'm sitting here with crossed legs. I need to go pee. So I love you all.
I did the same thing, man. So no, I 100% agree with you guys. That's what makes us a superpower, assuming we can figure out how to just coordinate and set this.
I got common. This. When everybody gets that digital world, when everybody gets that digital implant, we're good. I got my minions. We're sorted.
All right. Well, I'm the analog custodian. Somebody's got to keep around to keep the mice from chewing through the cables.
No,
perfect.
No, I love what you guys are saying, man. And we're so online, and it's a humbling experience. It's a great way to end the week. Here we are on Thursday night, and it was the whole purpose of this was to, we are so bought into this. This is the mission. The mission is to help people. It's to protect people. And so here we are, Thursday night, episode 83, and we're still fighting. We will not stop fighting. We will not stop caring. We have different opinions on the way we should go about things. I am starting to lean more towards Chris's world, where it's like, you make shitty decisions, you pay shitty consequences. So, not bad. Actually, you're bad. But it's been a great run so far, and I'm excited. 5, 6, 90.
Mexican telco.
Possibly, yeah.
This is why we're here. And we need more people to buy in, because we will not fix this industry by me, by you, by us. It takes a village, and that's the Gray Matter Society will help. We've talked about that already a little bit tonight. I'm excited about that. But I'll leave it at that. I talked too much tonight, especially because I'm just so jacked about the fact that I finally got through fucking class 11 of 30.
Crazy.
Oh boy.
Awesome. All right.
I love you guys.
Rest.
Thank you so much.
Rest.
Seriously.
Get some sleep, bro.
Curl up, rest.
You're amazing. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the support I get, especially from you guys. So thank you. Love you.
Love you guys. All right. Everybody take care.
Get rest, peoples.
Yeah, you too. Don't forget.
Yeah, you know me and sleep.
Yeah, I'm pot calling kettle black. We'll just leave it at that.
All right, I'll text you later.